And now, let's move to the next subject. Harmony and space. Many times, when we dance, we are aware of our body, but we are not aware of the space which is around our body. We are not aware of filling that space with our posture, filling that space with our presentation. So this is why today we have prepared this picture for you. You can see the body, the head, spine, hips, legs, arm, and the other arm, and the 4 spaces which are around our body. These 4 red squares, when Lorraine and I dances, we are always very aware of them. And we are dancing into these spaces. When we position an arm, I am aware of the space under the arm. I am aware of the space above the arm. If I position my head to the left, I'm aware of the space which my head dances into. So it is not just rotating my head, but I am actually moving my head into that space. So I'm very aware of this space for me. I'm very aware of this space, of not collapsing in that area, but maintaining the space there and the space on the other side. So when we dance, we are aware, and the feeling is to increase these spaces, make them as big as possible. Not just thinking about a big body. This is also very important for Lorraine. The lady has many shapes which she has to make. And again, she's dancing into those spaces, dancing into those spaces, not just shaping, but actually filling the space. When we put 2 bodies together, we must also have the same feeling. So when Lorraine and I dance together, of course, we look in perfect harmony. We look as if we are glued with each other. But in reality, there is a space, a very small space, which we keep between us. And this is why we have prepared the second picture on the other side of the board. As you can see, this is the man's body, this is the lady's body, and the red around it is the awareness of space that Lorraine and I have when we also just stand in front of each other. So we are not entering each other's space. We dance near each other, not on each other. So we are aware of the space which divides us and which will allow us, therefore, to be in harmony. So if we go back to the first picture, we are now going to dance for you a few steps. And I would like you to keep this picture in your mind. And we're going to talk about harmony, and we're going to talk about redirection of body weight into these 4 different spaces.
Now we'd like to dance an amalgamation of figures that Luke and I have put together. And they will consist of a natural turn with a whisk, followed by a wing, chassé to center, and outside change. We're then going to continue with a very popular figure, and sometimes difficult figure, which is the open natural, followed by a chassé to the right, then ending it with an impetus, ending promenade position. So we'll try that to music now.
Now, let's talk about spaces in this group which we have just presented. Now, when we start natural turn, or when we pick up old, I am very aware of my 4 spaces, as we draw earlier on the picture, and I'm very aware of the space between Lorraine and I. So we are connecting, but we still have space between each other. So I'm still very free of moving if I want to. Now I'm going to dance very strongly into this space with my upper part and into this space with my lower part, ending mainly into this space. So I'm very aware of filling up this space as I dance the natural turn. Now, from here, I'm now dancing into this space. So my shape is changing, beginning the action into that space, to then change it to forward. So now I'm very aware of my frontal space. From now into wing, very aware of where Lorraine is going, change of space. Now the spaces which are available to me now are 1 and 2. So for the next action, that is where I'm going to dance. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Next space, dancing into this space of the lady. So very aware, dancing into that space all the way through the open natural. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now taking Lorraine into this space. This space. So I'm now leading Lorraine to that space, but to my space behind me. Behind me, impetus, again, awareness of my frontal space.
And now we come to the lady's action. Here, the lady is also very aware of her space, and the space in the beginning of the natural turn is to the left. We'll dance this now, and then I will speak throughout the motion and let you know where I'm thinking of dancing my body weight and also my head. Here I'm connecting to Luca, but I'm still connected to my own 2 feet. Now I'm placing my weight onto my left foot and letting my head take shape. Here, I've maintained my own space. Now I'm dancing my weight forward, but my head stays in position. And I've now changed my head to the right. As the weight starts to move, I'm moving it forward, but Luca has changed my direction and changed my head position. Continuing, I stay in my space left to right. Here, I'd like to pause for a second, because now we're going to dance an open natural, which as lady, I feel is a very difficult step. I'd like to make note that the most important step is the ending of step number 1. I come from my promenade position, and here, as I take the first action and 1, I now must very quickly change my sway as my weight starts to transfer to step 2. The reason for this is that, as Luca mentioned before, he is actually dancing across into the space, which is on my right side. If I continue to dance in that space also, we are now going to bump into each other. Therefore, it is essential that once I place my weight onto the left foot, I change my sway. And now I'm giving Luca the space to dance into. I'll show you that with Luca. Promenade position. Change. Stay left. Stay left. And now promenade to right.
And now let's dance the same group one more time and count the timing. Now I would like you to look carefully at our leg timing and at our body timing, and looking at how much the upper part is dancing into the 4 spaces which we have discussed just now. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and